But, I mean, in other areas, we use square footage and volume, and because we don't have to deal with volume on this.
Right.
But we don't use footprint as a definition,
Agreed.
you know, anywhere else.
Agreed.
Do we wanna
This is,
change
yeah,
it, you know, I mean,
this could be, this is its own little thing.
uh-huh. Well, I read in here, you know, I'm doing a shoreline expansion now.
And you want an accessory unit, but you have to be 75 feet away from the water, so there you
And
go.
setbacks, but not
Setbacks.
setbacks.
If it's allowed, you know, we don't know,
Right.
so, yeah.
You're right, I mean,
I don't know. But I do think, I mean, I think we should keep in mind, it is supposed to be ancillary or an accessory to the main law.
Accessory means supplemental.
right, and that's why I like the 75%. I think we just need to land on our square footage and whether that's just footprint or, I mean, 1,000 square feet is 30 by 30. If that's gonna be the total square footage, then you're talking 15 by 20, or whatever that math is, so which is really small.
Well, 25 by 40 also. 30 by 30 is 900 square feet.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I was stuck on looking at 900.
You know, 25 by 40, that would be,
That would be livable space too, right, the square footage? I'm just thinking loopholes here, right, so like, so for instance,
Porches and stuff.
for instance, my house is reported at 1,800 square feet, but I have a walkout basement that is the same size as my house. So I
Right.
technically have an additional 900 square feet that is still usable space.
If it's a walkout, then it's usable space and should be counted.
It's not.
Lucky you.
I'm just saying.
If it's over a height of 6 feet, it should be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna argue, it just didn't happen.
But there's like
Well, if it's not
a
finished.
secondary
It is not
egress.
finished.
It's not
It's not
finished,
livable
right,
space.
so,
Right, it's not
so if it's yeah, right, accessory dwelling unit that's not finished space and it's a walkout,
Right.
can they have a 1,000 foot?
But that's not
square
living
basement?
space. Maybe you make it stipulate as living space.
Right, that's my question.
That's why I'm feeling that the footprint is easy, straightforward. We don't have to mess with how many floors have enough height to consider them square footage for usable
Like you
space.
do that any way you want to,
I-
right?
Right.
And I think we make it pretty general, I think it's gonna get limited by setbacks anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's just 75% of the foot, I mean, and again, I guess it's supposed to be an accessory.
No,
And that's where we're getting hung up.
no, I think, wait, are you saying it's a combination where it's 75% of the square footage and then 1,000?
Or 1,000 square
Or
feet,
1,000 square feet.
whichever is
Oh,
larger.
so you're not saying footprint, or you are?
No, footprint.
So it's 1,000 square feet or
Footprint.
75% of the footprint,
Right.
whichever is larger.
Oh, I thought you were saying the other way.
No. I was talking footprint all the way around because I just think it's easier.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's either 75% of the footprint of your original primary house
Or
or
1,000.
1,000 square foot footprint,
Right.
whichever you wanna use.
And
Whichever is larger.
Do it whatever you want in that
Whichever you
building
want.
envelope.
Yeah, you could have
Yeah.
2 stories
Yeah.
all the way up to your, whatever, 35 foot max. Or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it's a 35 foot max.
Right,
Yeah.
Unless you've got a flat roof, you're really only gonna get 2 stories.
right.
The whole volume and whether it's
That just makes it a
or
lot more
a
straightforward.
interior or whatever, this is,
The footprint makes it a lot more straightforward to,
We'll write something down and at least, we'll, you know, that'll take us from this point.
yeah.
write something down, okay?
Right now, we can just talk about
Can't wait to read the minutes.
They
We're
impose
probably
a
up
maximum size.
to- we're probably up to 4 or 5 pages already.
Okay, so have we landed on 1,000 square foot footprint or 75% of primary dwelling footprint?
That seems good to me.
I would say yes.
Yes,
I'm fine.
yes? We can always change it, it's not in law yet.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, allows room for people to do.
It doesn't have to be unanimous. Put it down,
So Jim's a no.
put it down.
Well, and you can always put an addition on the initial dwelling too. You want a
Well,
bigger
it's
home.
attached, it can be attached. It's attached or detached.
Yeah, but I'm saying, viewers, if they want someone to want a bigger house, they can build
Right.
an addition
First.
on the, well, that.
Right,
That's true too.
so Carly, you got that?
Hey, if you got
So
that
it's,
kind of
they're
money,
both footprints, 75%
you're building an
original.
addition for more
That's
appeal.
There's gonna be loopholes no matter
4,000
what.
square
Yeah.
foot. There's
You're
no
not gonna
way,
nail it down.
we've
Yeah,
been doing
footprint
this for long,
seems
there's
like
no
a
way
good
you're
idea.
ever gonna
You're not gonna
find
catch them all.
something that
Right.
isn't gonna have some
Right.
sort of,
You just add, do an
Weird.
addition first, your
Well, we-
It
house.
It's
seems the
really
hardest
this.
to exploit, the footprint.
We'll be tweaking this
So you
every
finish
day.
your garage, your basement first, and then you go for it.
That's what we do.
okay, so just to be clear, footprint does not count open porches.
No.
Of enclosed structure.
Right, so
So just add
To
of
me,
enclosed
Well,
structure.
my
If it
foundation
has-
goes out there.
if it has a roof, it's included in your footprint, I think, in my opinion.
It's not living space.
Nobody said it was living space, it's this, it's the footprint of your house.
Say an enclosed structure. So you can't
A
have
roof
your.
is not enclosed.
No, I would say, or 75% of the primary dwelling footprints enclosed structure. So you can't, so if they don't have a roof, if they don't have a porch, you can't have a porch, you can't use a porch, that's square footage also.
Well,
It's not living space. In theory, it's not living space.
But we're setting up this maximum ourselves, so we can do really what we want, unless the state tells us we can't.
But the enclosed structure means that you can't add, you're not getting additional, if you're trying to set the footprint.
Then like, you're saying if you want a front porch, that's cutting into your square footage of the
That
footprint?
that is the footprint.
Yeah?
But you should also, are you basing it on enclosed structure, or if the original structure has it? I mean, you guys,
Yeah, I mean, the worst that could be done is that someone screens it in, I guess, and gets a bigger.
but do you want to stipulate an enclosed structure? Your footprint is your enclosed structure, not your front porch, not your.
The thing I was thinking about is people can have a house like this, and then they've got, you know, this is open over here, but it has a roof over it, so it's part of the roof line. I'm thinking kind of roof line is your footprint. Because this is still, you know, this might be a little alcove.
Add a definition, and the definitions of what footprint means.
But, I mean, I don't care either way, I just, it's gonna come up.
Right,
Does my porch count or not?
Right.
And we have to have an answer, so I honestly don't care either way. I
I don't
just think
care
we ought to
either.
decide how we're gonna,
I don't think.
how
porch
we're
has to
gonna do
matter.
that.
I think porches should be encouraged.
I like porches too.
Porches are great.
Okay, cause in the book, it's all, is it enclosed? Does it have a roof? Does it not have a roof? Then it doesn't count. If it has a roof, it counts.
So how about
So-
exterior footprint? The footprint, exterior footprint, then it's the whole boundary.
Not including the porch.
No, including it's whatever the
Oh.
exterior,
You could do the foundation footprint. That's pretty clear.
Yeah,
That seems pretty clear.
and then if you build a porch, whatever.
I'll put half my house on posts.
Yeah, I know, yeah, I was gonna say.
but that's a
Yeah, but then
foundation.
it's,
Yeah, see? You're right, though. Someone will say my house is on posts, not on a foundation.
Well, I think a lot of porches are typically on posts, honestly.
Right.
So, it doesn't, I don't think anybody cares.
so then could we just say the enclosed space then, like you said?
I like that,
Because
enclosed.
then anyone could build a porch off of it,
Yeah,
whatever.
right. Enclosed space.
I'll enclose it after I get my permissions.
Enclosed footprint.
All right, Carly, enclosed footprint. Just add the word enclosed and then we're good to go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
I don't think we're gonna get a lot on that one.
We did good.
Yeah.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. All right.
So now, does this complete the LD 2003 for the town, plus whatever they come up with?
Complete it? I mean,
Is this something that you want to send out to the attorney?
no, we're still the definitions. That's just the definitions. That has nothing to do with, all of this other rulemaking stuff needs to be incorporated somehow into the ordinance.
So we haven't heard that, so we got all of that.
Right, and Max, so we finished the definitions, I will fix these markups, and I will send them back out to you. And then what we have left is this rulemaking proposal. Max needs to go through the ordinance and tag all the places in our existing ordinance that will be affected by this rulemaking proposal, because this is really set up, I got looking at it, it's really set up like it's its own little entity. We could stick this in there in a section, but what I'm worried about is where it contradicts other things in the book, and that's what Max is gonna find. So we're gonna have to go through whatever he tags, like we did these definitions here, and decide what we wanna do to make it meet the state rules. So there's that other step, but I think as long as this rulemaking stuff stays as it is, we can just stick section 2, affordable housing density in on its own, and then we've got section 3, which is dwelling unit allowance, in on its own. Same thing with section 4, which is accessory dwelling unit on its own. I think that we can just stick that in there. I'm worried about the conflicts inside here. And we need Max for that. So, do we want to, so next week we have a regular meeting.
So, the week after that is the meeting with Max, yeah.
And then the week after that, he's gonna try to have it done by the 21st, so the 21st, he's coming back.
And he should by then hear all of the responses to the,
And he was saying that he would have the ordinance marked up by the 21st, for sure. If he has it earlier now, I'll see if he can give it to us in a way that I can send it out so you can look at it ahead of time.
so is this no longer,
16, 2016, throw that
The
out.
green edition?
That's all.
I keep
Sorry.
everything.
So I think,
on my farm.
I think that's where we're at. So definitions are done, I'll finish them and I'll send them off to you.
Nice job.
And then, thank you. And then next week we have a regular meeting. And then the week after that, we'll meet with Max and hopefully the tags and the ordinance will be done. And then we can work on that. We set up meetings every Tuesday in March. I'm very sorry. But we did.
Question on the applications that are, has anybody looked at them?
I haven't been able to get in here. We can grab them tonight though, right? Are they right upstairs? Okay, we can grab them tonight
So-
before we go.
So I looked at them the other day, and one of them, the one down on Bull Rock Road, like, is missing a ton of info.
Did you tell them, John?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't know if we want, like, I know John is like sick of telling people, you know, like, he tells the people what to do, and they just don't do it. So like, I didn't know if the plan would be, like, everybody review and see what they thought, and then just reject the applicant when, at the meeting.
I know, we've gone back and forth with trying to make that work better so that people
I think John's told people
Aren't
1,000 times. what they-
upset,
right.
and, yeah, and I think that that's
That's
what
on them when
happens.
they come to the meeting.
I think it's still a good idea if we see something wrong with it, to let John know beforehand. And then he can relay it, and if they decide not to do anything, then they come and we tell them they don't have everything, and they have to come back with more information later.
That's fine.
Cause I don't,
There was just missing all the calculations for the volume in the area.
which is right in the,
So,
did they not use,
Primary.
well, but did they not use the application form? Cause the new one like has spaces for that.
if
So I don't know,
when we meet,
yeah.
if John has met with them and talked to the applicant and said, you need to do this and this and this, and we have the application before us.
So like, they
If
gave,
he
they gave all
can,
the.
just a moment there,
Oh,
Sorry.
we can, So if when we first start the meeting, if John would have an opportunity to speak, then we'd have the benefit of his knowledge of what is missing on the application.
Right,
If he would have that opportunity to speak to everybody saying, okay, the applicant doesn't show this and doesn't show that, and that's still what we're waiting for.
right, right, and I did actually, that was a great idea that you had. I discussed it with Christine. Oh, Carla's even asked me to ask her. And,
Sorry, I was just gonna run upstairs and get the application.
That's all right.
one sec though, because I got a question for you. I think maybe you can answer it, maybe you can't. But I spoke to Christine about proposing that in the very beginning of each applicant that we ask John just to give us a little quick summary of like, he spoke to them, he went down, he looked at it, everything looked good, something like that. And she said I couldn't ask him that she was gonna discuss that with him if he was okay doing that at the meetings.
Well,
So I don't know, do you know if she
It would
spoke
give
to
us-
him at all?
It would give us the benefit of
I agree,
his conversation. I mean, otherwise we're going into it blind.
I
You know,
agree,
We don't know what he's discussed with the applicant, or,
right.
It also gives him a chance to say, you still gotta do more stuff before
Right.
you bring it to me.
Right, and
So
we
you're
don't
right.
usurp his authority.
Right, and I totally agree with all of that, but I was told that I was not to ask him to do that she was gonna ask him to do that.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's done that or not.
It's my understanding that she's holding off until the roles and responsibilities have been clarified and determined through the select board.
That should happen Thursday.
What's that, Suzanne?
That should happen on Thursday.
Okay, so I guess I'm on the record to say that I don't think that what we're asking is really a big deal or
Yeah.
unreasonable.
It's just sharing something.
It's
that's
just
already out
sharing what he's talked to them
there.
about
Yeah.
to help out the applicant and us at the meeting, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're waiting until the roles and responsibilities are done?
That's my understanding, I could be wrong.
I guess that one
That's
is-
Thursday.
So, you can
That'd be
run with
really
that.
helpful
So,
to me, I know it would be.
I agree, I
Yeah.
agree. Yes, I agree.
Because, I mean, if we're saying, if he said one thing, and then we start saying something different, that doesn't really believe it.
We're on the same page.
Agreed. Yep.
So do you have any meetings beyond the 21st planned?
Yeah, the 28th, I did every Tuesday, thank you, Carly. I had her scheduled every Tuesday, hoping that we didn't need them all. And honestly, I'm not here on the 21st. I'm gone,
We have a vice chair, right?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
Jamie.
no, not until June.
June.
We can vote again on June if you want. So yeah, I won't be here the 21st, sorry. But you guys got this under control. I'll make sure I get the definitions before then.
So,
So I think, sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking, so we're the next 3 Tuesdays?
Yep. Yeah.
And we understand certainly that not everyone can make every meeting.
Right,
It's great that you two guys have joined us because it takes the pressure off us. We were down to 3 at one point.
right, exactly. So,
Um,
all right, so I think, is there anything else in the LD 2003 that anyone wants to talk about, discuss? All right, well then, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
All right.
Just want you to-